Hello, I'm Tanya Ryman from PhotoPiya Designs, and I am your website strategist. In today's video, I'm going to be teaching you how to figure out your hexadecimal color for your brand. So usually it would be the colors that make up your logo. In some cases, you will have a styling branding guide or something along those lines for your logo. However, in other cases you won't. So as an example, I got my logo designed by a professional graphic designer, and they gave me a style guide. So the three colors that make up my logo are the maroon, the medium gray, and the dark gray. And then as you can see, they've given me different color codes. One is CMYK, which is usually for print, RGB, which can be used for web. The most common one that's used for websites, especially when you're in WordPress, is a hexadecimal, which is what that hex is. And Pantone, again, is also for print. So if you happen to have a branding style guide, then you can just grab the hexadecimal code from here and use it in WordPress. However, if you don't, you may have come across something along this lines. So I'm in WordPress and I have a select color box. So from here, if I click on select color, you'll notice that I have some standard colors at the bottom, and then I can also click in the box to give me some color codes. And you'll see that the code changes as I move things. I can also move and make the spectrums show up, and then again click in these different spectrums to see what color I want. That being said, if you don't have a style branding guide, then you probably don't know what the hex color is for your logo. And sure, you can do one of these and drag and drop and try and get it as close as you want. So let's say I wanted to do my maroon color. If I go up here and then drag it down a little, yeah, I mean, that's pretty close. However, we're talking about your brand here. And pretty close is something that I don't actually like to play with, especially when it comes to your brand. So while, okay, fine, this could do, there is a way of finding out your official hex codes. And the way to do that is through a tool called PhotoPiya. So I already have the tab open right over here. The website address is up here, which is photopiya.com. When you first come to the website, you'll notice that there happens to be a very large message from PhotoPiya, and basically all they're saying is that they are not Adobe Photoshop. And they're making it very clear you do not have to worry about any issues here. This is a fully legal site that you can use. It's just that they want to make sure that you know that this is not an Adobe program. You can click that arrow down or that X down and you'll be just fine. So what you want to do is you want to go and open your logo file from your hard drive. And I have mine already set up here, so I'm just going to quickly select that and open it up. So there's my logo. Now that I have my logo up, I could use the eyedropper tool at this point to grab the color codes. And it's easy if I wanted the maroon. It gets a little more difficult if I want to get into the nitty-gritty of this gray or this sort of darker gray. And the reason I say that is that the eyedropper tool, you have to be really, really precise. So the best way of dealing with that is by going into the zoom tool first and then zooming in on your logo. So from here, you can see that I have a much easier time going in and being able to eyedropper whatever it is that I need to do. So I'm now going to go into my eyedropper tool. And then what I want you to do is take a look at this box at the bottom. You see that there's a little swatch box down here. As I click on the swatch box, it will change the swatch to whatever color I'm grabbing. So let's say in this case, I want the maroon. Now that I've got it in that little swatch box, I can then click on the box and then take a look at what the hexadecimal code is. If I actually wanted the gray, I could also just quickly click into the gray and find out that hex, or into the dark gray and find out that hex. In this case, we actually want the maroon hexadecimal, so it happens to be 831436. And so from here, I can highlight it, highlight it, right click, copy, go back into my editor for WordPress, then delete what I happen to have there and then Control V to paste. And you'll notice that it actually did change colors. So I'm going to do something a little bit more extreme. So we'll change it from green to maroon because I was close the last time. There we go. So that is the best way of figuring out what your hexadecimal colors are, and that way you can also use those throughout your website. Once you're done with putting in your hexadecimal color, all you got to do is click select color. That'll close down the box, and then you can continue with any of the editing that you need to do for the element that you happen to be in. This happens to be a WP Bakery Visual Composer that I'm working in, so that's where this little box is coming from. However, there's also other visual editors in WordPress that use hexadecimal colors as well. So that is the way to figure out how or what your hexadecimal color is for the brand that you have on your logo. You can do the same with photos and things like that. So if you're in PhotoPiya, you're more than welcome to bring up a photo in here and then eyedropper that as well. And so it's not just applicable to not just applicable to logos, but yeah, that's basically how you would make sure that you're keeping your brand consistent throughout your website. Thanks so much. I'm Tanya Ryman from PhotoPiya Designs, your website strategist.